it's Ginny. I've got you zoomed in hopefully quite a bit because I want to show you some small things I've been making over the last month or so. It's taken me a long time, but I finally got them finished, and they are some more art tiles. I really like doing these, and they're good to pop in happy mail or swap mail. So I'll just go through these slowly and show you. I've just been I did the same as I did with my previous art tiles. It's they're just cardboard, no particular size, just whatever I feel like doing at the time. So gesso, it's just cardboard, gesso the cardboard, then paint them a plain colour for a background, and then over the top of that I've been, sorry, I forgot to get this out. This is for those of you who didn't see my previous lot of tiles that I made. I've been using up the backings of napkins. When you separate the layers, you'll always end up with a just a plain white backing. So what I've been doing is stamping them. Oops, am I on camera? Sorry, this is a bit of a mess. I've been stamping the white parts with all my different stamps, and then I will cut out a particular one that I want to use, and I will glue that over the top of the cardboard, and then I'll just add embellishments on top of that. So it's a good way to use up your napkin backings, and yeah, I like doing it that way. So that's that, and I'll just go through them. I got some really little ones, this one with an owl. I hope I'm zoomed in enough. I won't see till I look at the thing. Some of them aren't embellished very much, and some of them I've done a lot, like that one I've just got the owl and I've just put a few white beads on it, that's all. And I black paint around the edges. One, I'll show you the little ones first. It's just some numbers. This one's got a couple of blings on it. Butterfly, some ribbon and flower, some blings. This is dimensional paint, and make little dots with it. This one I cut out the words from a book. It says butterflies and flowers, which is what I've got on there. These little tiny flowers I make myself. I like having really little flowers to do things like this, and so I just draw them on some paper, colour them in, and then cut them out. A little bit time consuming, but I really like having them to use, so it's worth it. There's another one. I've got quite a few butterfly ones. This one, it's a little bird, and I put some beads dangling down. I used up some scraps that I have in the scrap. That's just a leftover bit from something I punched out, so I gave him a little hat. Put some beads on there. Oh, this one just had the rose stamp on it, so I've got a little bit of lace there, red bead, one of those black bling things, and a couple of pearls. This one here with the bike. Oh, that's not supposed to be stuck there. Take that off. I put some little tiny blings on the wheels and cut out some little flowers from a lace motif. This one here I used some of my borders either side, and more of those tiny flowers, and the words say pretty flowers make me smile, which is true. This one says love, there's a heart with an arrow through it, flower and a butterfly. That one I didn't do anything except for colouring in. It's a stamp of gift boxes and ribbons, and I just coloured the ribbons in with gel pen. Just left it fairly plain. I thought if I wanted to add something to it later I might. This one's fairly basic. It's got a star and a fabric flower, a couple of blings on it. The red one with the rose. That was just a stamped pattern, but I only used a small part of it because it was a small square. This one says free, just lots of blings. That one's just got a few flowers, and I used some of this sticky lace that Kay Borland gave me down the bottom there. A couple of white doves, a couple of those flowers. This one's really plain. In the background there you can't see it very well because of the colours, that it's a pink bow, and there's a butterfly cut out from the inside of an envelope, so it's got that security pattern on it. It's another love heart one with just a bling on it. There's an owl, and I did a bow with embroidery cotton and a few beads, and I put little blings on his eyes. That one's another one of those bows you can't really see very well. I just coloured that in and stuck a bling in the middle. There's a butterfly, bit of gold ribbon, some bling things with pearl, and I did a little tiny bit of doodling with the gel pen in the corners. This one, the stamp says dream, a flower, a couple of blings, and I coloured that in with gel pen. A bird, and I used a snowflake that Kelly Bell just gave me recently, and a few blings. This one was a stamp of a birthday cake, and all I did with that was I went over with the dimensional paint so that you could see it better, because just the stamp blended into the background and you couldn't see it at all, so I just thought I'd do that. It's a cupcake with a flower. Another cupcake with a flower. Oh no, a heart and a bit of lace. This one says I love you with all my heart, and then I've made a little tiny heart with some corrugated cardboard. I've got some tiny pieces of metallic thread that were in some wool that I have. I pulled those out and put them underneath, and I've got the word love there. And I've got some little cut pieces of that sticky, looks like lace, but it's a sticker. And then I put a few blings. There's a flower that's punched out of my papers that I did on a sheet of glass, mono printing, and some blings. An umbrella, flower made with some cut up lace and a button centre, and some stars, and I use a dimensional paint just to put dots on the umbrella. Oops. That one says live. I coloured with gel pens and put blings on. another bicycle one with some flowers. This I used for the stems, some very tiny shredded bits of paper that came from when I was using the paper cutter, and these tiny bits came off, and I thought I could use them for something, so I did. This one says learn, and the word simply grow, and then I've just used some what are they called, sequin, I think, sequin things, yeah, and a bit of embroidery cotton and some lace underneath, make flowers out of it. That one was a border stamp, and I've just highlighted that with the pink blings and made a flower with some lace underneath it. That was a piece of lace that had the bow, so I cut the bow out. Underneath here is stamped, but you can't see it very well. It's a love heart in pink, and then the blue background. So I've got some butterflies which I put some glitter on, and then put the little blings around. This orange one was a, oops, goes that way. It's a chandelier stamp. So I've put some black lace and an orange and black decorated flower, black ribbon and orange blings on there. This one I did some torn book page underneath, and then put the napkin bit over the top with the stamp on it, which says learn, and then I just made a flower and some punched out from some of my drop paper, I think these were made from, little leaves and a flower. This one says live, flowers coloured with gel pen. Made a little bow, put some more little lace things I cut out and blings. This one has the birdcage stamp. Yes, I put a dragonfly, the blings everywhere, a piece of rolled up material for a stem for the daisy, and that daisy is actually a real daisy from my garden that I pressed, well, sort of, it's supposed to be pressed, that you do in the microwave, so you dry them out. And then to preserve it, and I've done a few of these, to preserve it I've used Mod Podge gloss luster, and it works really well. They've stayed, you know, looking the same, and I really like that. I'm thinking of doing it with some other flowers as well. I've just actually recently done a couple of autumn leaves with the same thing. I've just coated them in that gloss varnish, and hopefully that will preserve the condition that they're in now, so that they'll stay those gorgeous colours and I can use them in a project. So yeah, just show you that. I've only got two left. That's this one, black and red, a flower from my mono printed papers, the word peace, a couple of doves and some blings, and the last one is dream, which I coloured with gel pen, some blings and one of my borders on top, and the background is gold metallic paint. So that's all my tiles that I've made recently. They're fun to make, and they do take a long time though, because I take ages to decide what I'm going to put with them, and I put things on and take them off, and yeah, go through a long process of decision making. But yeah, so now I've got a good collection of them I can use either in journals, or maybe use on canvas. Lots of ways you can use them. You can send them out in Happy Mail, and yeah, I like receiving art tiles from other people, I've got a few on my desk that I've already showed you that have been sent. That was from Kay Borland, and this was from Kelly Bell. But I love how they're so shiny. They must use some special, maybe glossy accents or something. They're gorgeous. I don't have any of that, so the only thing I use is the gloss varnish, which does a reasonably good job. The thing is though that they do tend to stick together, and when I've sent mail recently with anything that's got varnish on it, I've noticed that they really stick to each other, and I don't like that. So I'll show you what I've tried recently that I learnt from Melinda, who's Scrapbooking and Craft on YouTube. Just move those out the way. And she learnt this from Wendy Mason, which is actually to use neutral shoe polish. This is a Kiwi brand that we get here in Australia, and it's made from carnauba wax, which is a wax from a particular palm leaf, and you can rub a little bit of this on it, and I like it because, and I'll do one, I can show you. You only need a tiny bit, and you just rub it on, and to start with it will dull the varnish underneath, and you think, oh, then that's just wasted the varnish. But you put that on, and then you get a dry bit of cloth. I'm just using some calico or muslin here, and then you just sort of buff it like you would if you were buffing your shoes after you've polished them, and it brings the shine back up again, and it stops all that sticking. So it's fabulous stuff, particularly because here we can't we can't get the Daddy Vans wax that Shannon Green often talks about. So yeah, I use that to stop them sticking together, and it works really well. Oh, I've got one more I just forgot to show you. This one that was still drying, so I did this because it had a dress form on it. I thought I'd try and sort of make it in that style. So I've got a bit of paper, what's that called, measure tape measure. I've stitched all around the edges in a peach coloured embroidery cotton, put a couple of flowers from off some lace, and the peach coloured beads, and one of these gorgeous peach coloured flowers that Irene from Seriously Scrapping just sent me. I really like this one. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you. So that's it for this video, and thanks a lot for watching. Bye now.